Right, go for it.
Okay, so you know that I'm a big lover of pseudoscience and string theory and alternate dimensions and reincarnation.
I'm gonna grill you one time on what you think you mean by string theory when you say you're all into it. But yeah, keep talking. I'll shut up.
Yeah, I'm actually not entirely sure. I just
No,
bundle it in amongst all that because it was classed as pseudo, but now it is actually
It's
like,
pretty pseudo, I think. Like, I think string theory is on about 28 dimensions or something to
yeah,
make it
but
work.
it's all like parallel universes. I only
okay.
really know with
Yeah,
Big
okay.
Bang Theory and Sheldon,
Yeah, right.
and he's
got
always
ya.
going on about like.
If Cheesy was here,
Yeah,
he'd be
I don't
able
know.
to fucking. He'd probably be off. He definitely would be off on a tangent.
Quantum physics does sort of throw me off, like when they start actually delving deep into
like, of
the
course.
stuff. But anywho,
Yeah.
you know that I am a proper fan of like parallel universe
Yeah,
and
go for it.
reincarnation and stuff, and butterfly effect and crazy shit, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So I was watching a video earlier on about butterfly effect stuff.
Right.
And this just sort of ties into the conversation that I was having with Beth last week about how like people are meant to meet or people are meant to do things, and it doesn't matter what happens, what choices you make, those things that are supposed to happen will happen when they're supposed to happen and not before. For example, we met when we did and have no memories of each other before, which I just still find absolutely mental.
Right, okay.
But this video, there was a guy, and I thought that you might like this one because it's about Metallica.
Alright, okay.
Right? So he was got a Metallica gig with his buddies after work. And
Is this in real life, aye?
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
So he was in a bit of a rush, and he couldn't find his Metallica t-shirt that he thought was in his cupboard. He couldn't find it, so he just grabbed a Nirvana t-shirt that was just laying there. And they went to this Metallica gig, and some chick came up to him and started teasing him for wearing a Nirvana t-shirt at a Metallica gig and stuff, but you know, they sort of like hit it off and spent the rest of the night together. At the end of the gig, it was like, you guys go off, I'm just gonna chill out with this chick for a bit and I'll catch you later. He then found out a bit later that his buddies, and I think his brother as well, were in a crazy fatal car crash on the way home.
Right.
And it was really like a terrible crash, like absolutely awful. Apparently the only thing that was left of them was like blood smear on the ground.
Right. That's pretty fucking brutal.
The next day when he opened his cupboard, his Metallica t-shirt was hanging right there in front of him. You know? So like, if it hadn't been for the fact that he couldn't find his Metallica t-shirt and put on a Nirvana t-shirt, that chick wouldn't have spoken to him, probably teasing him about Nirvana. He would have gone home with his buddies and he would have died in that car accident. But then the next day he opens his cupboard and there's the t-shirt right there. That's mental.
It is mental. There's definitely occasions where I've not been able to see someone for looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is crazy. So, what was the idea with the alternate dimension thing?
Oh,
like,
nothing. That was just me just saying, you know, that I'm into all that kind of stuff.
Clicking dots and just crazy things that happen.
Yeah.
So, like, literally, that yeah, it's fucking mental. It's totally mental. Well, it's like the Mish thing, innit? Like, if I never went to see Lamb of God, then Mishan wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
That's a butterfly effect and a half.
Yeah, but
You know?
well, that ties into what I was just saying at the very start there,
Yeah.
that like, had we actually spoken to each other before that day that Tony brought me around for coffee, you might not have even like met Amy and had the opportunity to have Mishan anyway. Therefore, I think that if there is such a thing as fate and you know, the way that our life is supposed to pan out and everything, you obviously are supposed to have Mishan. So you weren't supposed to meet me before you did, even though we have had the same circle of friends for years, drinking in the same pub for years, yet have no memory of each other. I just...
You believe that? You believe in fate? Like that? You believe in fate like death?
Stuff like that, and like that guy's story with the gig and everything, and then these other stories that happened as well that were fucking nuts. It just makes me wonder, you know? You know, like
if the universe has got a great plan for you.
Yeah. Or that you just have a path through life, like
I think
everybody's all
it's
connected.
maybe more likely it's like a simulation, something like the egg video on that Kurzgesagt, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah, I like that video.
Where it's on
quite
about like
cute.
every time you die, you're then reborn in the simulation of some description again. And that,
Yeah, I quite like that video. It's a cute video.
yeah, it's a cool video because it's kind of like these when I sit with these mad ideas of like
that-
you could just be like a thing in a simulation that only my conscious will perceive, or what I think to be my conscious will perceive. Like you won't have one, none else will. Like it won't really exist. It's just like you're here, like in a game. You can, like in Resident Evil, you can tell the zombies apart. It looks like a zombie, so I can relate to you because you're a human. You're similar to me, and we can talk and we can whatever. So, you know, so
but that Kurzgesagt video
it's
though,
like, you know, like you're just part of it to make sense, and then eventually when I die, it'll just be like the game will carry on, and I'll just like it wouldn't be me. It might be me. I don't fucking know.
Well, that's what I'm trying to stop you from rambling there because
rambling. I think
no,
I've got it perfect.
Just stop. That specific Kurzgesagt video with the egg is not the simulation video. That is, it's the one where like they're saying that you are me, and everybody else is me, but from different.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Yeah, I get that. No, what I mean
Yeah.
is like the concept made me think of like kind of shit that I've got ideas about. It's like as if the egg was just a one-person thing, like a single-player game. That's basically what I've had thought, like mad fucking thoughts about.
Yeah.
But like the egg thing, yeah, like
I think
totally.
that-
It's
that
like you'd
video-
have what, so like would all be.
That video I think was sort of touching on multiverse stuff, but each universe it's the one soul, because time in a straight linear pattern, like as we know it, doesn't actually exist, and it's all over the place. So like you are actually a reincarnation of me, or the other way around. But everybody in the world is me, just different versions of me that's like died and then been put back as a different being. It's a fucked up video. what is it? Kurzgesagt or Kurzgesagt?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if you just search. Like,
Anybody listening to this should totally check that channel out.
yeah, it's
Because
a
there's
banging
tons
channel.
of videos, and there is also
I'm sure I've subscribed to it. In fact, I
Yeah.
have. It is a banging channel. It's
Yeah.
really cool. I love just animation style and all. It's really, it's neat.
So the other mental story that actually like gave me chills, I had to pause the video when I was watching it. I was like, what? Right. So there was this Scottish farmer dude, right? Like back in the day, all poor and shit. And he was just walking through his land and everything, and he heard this screaming and shouting, and he ran to the moors and sort of yucky bits, and there was this boy that was stuck, and he was going to drown and be like sucked into all the like marshy crap. So he saved this boy. Turns out that boy was the son of quite a sort of like rich dude. Rich dude came to farmer dude's house, and he was like, I need to like repay you for saving my son. What can I give you? And he was like, I'm not taking anything. And then the farmer guy's son appeared at the door, and rich guy was like, right, I tell you what, I'm going to take your son and I'm going to put him through a good education, put him through university and stuff, and if he's half the man you are, you'll be very proud of him. So he did, and he took the farmer guy's son away, put him through education, and that son was Alexander Fleming, who is the Scottish inventor of penicillin, right? So then, years later, the rich guy's son, the one that originally had been stuck in the farmland and stuff, he developed pneumonia, and he would have died had it not been for the invention of penicillin.
Yeah.
That boy was Winston Churchill.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mental.
It's fucking mental.
Yeah.
It's mental. Yeah, that's just cool. I've not much to say on that. That's just fucking. That's just cool. That's a cool story. I've heard random wee things like that. I didn't have anything remotely close to an example because I can't remember. But you can just even recently seen me post to do with different inventions and stuff like that. You know, like if it wasn't for the invention of this, and it was what he actually did with Scottish inventions. And it was like, and if it wasn't for the invention of this, then this wouldn't could have happened, and then they invented that, and it just went on and on. It was quite cool.
Yeah.
It's quite cool.
I just find it quite amusing that, like, you know, the farmer guy saved the young boy, but then the next time that the boy would have died, it was actually technically his own dad that saved him, because it was his dad that put Alexander Fleming through education to then develop penicillin, which then saved him again.
Yeah.
But it was his dad really that did that, so aye, it's mental.
Yeah.
Mental. And it was Winston Churchill, which obviously massive influence in Britain.
Yeah.
And crazy enough, linking back to our last podcast, Hitler.
Yeah, I suppose. Aye. Aye, it's all full circle, innit?
Oh aye.
All full circle.
There was another one, I can't even fucking remember the other one as well, but the butterfly effect videos and stories and how things are connected and stuff, it's just crazy sometimes.
Yeah, the thing is, we can always work back and create a butterfly effect,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But, so like, yeah, you can always create a butterfly effect.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the thing.
because butterfly effect is definitely a thing, you know? Definitely a thing. But that's why I was saying as well before with the first story about the dude that, like, never saw his Metallica shirt that was hanging right there in front of him. I think certain things that are meant to happen develop in a way that it doesn't matter what you do, that thing is going to happen anyway. So, like, he wasn't ever meant to die in that car crash. So, like, the universe or fate or whatever made it so that, like, he never seen his shirt there. And, like, you know, much like the whole me and you do not have any memory of each other. Although it's impossible, it's an impossibility that we
It's not
don't admit.
impossible.
It is
impossible.
impossible.
No, it's not impossible.
The White Hart is not a big pub.
It's not impossible.
There
It's
is
definitely not
no
impossible,
way.
man. There is no way. It literally could just be that, like, I was really smashed and I don't remember, and you literally weren't gonna look twice because I was just a stuttering fucking mess and just a random, you know, many people. Back in the day when the pub was busy, when loads of folk went out, and it was
But
decent.
people used to smoke in the pub. It's not as if there was, like, a bunch of people that stood outside the majority of the night and a bunch of people were inside the majority of the night. We were all inside the pub.
So what are you suggesting? Are you suggesting that we've been living in a dual dimension? You've got your Indian, I've got my Indian, we're cutting about with the same pals and that, but no seeing each other.
Aye.
And that, yeah, because, like, you think that, like what, that one of us is a Metallica dude and the other ends a t-shirt?
Yeah. I will
believe that if you can dredge up some old CCTV footage for the White Hart where we have been in the same place.
Yeah. No, but fucking hell.
That
like,
would freak me out. That would, because I just think that we've literally just no cross paths.
We have. We both remember the last night that we could smoke in the Heart on the 16th of March.
I could have just been a face in the back.
You said that you were playing pool with Eddie.
I was sitting around about that area, aye.
And I was sitting back when it had the kiddie
Remember,
corner.
I looked different back then and all.
I know you looked different back then, but I'm fucking, like, back then, you still had your longer, shaggier hair, and you still had some tattoos.
You remember my people. You remember Adrian.
I don't remember Adrian. That's what I said the other day. I don't remember Eddie. I don't ever remember seeing Johnston. And that's why I was saying the other day about Eddie being quite
who did you pal about with that can validate my existence?
Tony.
There you go.
But Tony doesn't remember how he met you.
Through tattoos.
Robin and Sal.
They'll remember me. They used to dislike me.
I know they did. But I've known them for years.
The next time I see any of them, I'm going to ask, or Jen.
Cheesy.
but I never knew cheesy until relatively recently when we're talking in the grand scheme of like the old White Hart days, because we're talking like 15 years ago doing that fucking place.
Yeah. But we were both definitely in the heart that night when we could smoke in the pub. And you know that I dot around everybody and speak to. I don't just sit in the one place all night.
You just didn't like the look of me.
And I played pool all the time.
You like a prick. You're just like, who's this fucking cunt?
Aye, and I used to think that, although he is a nice guy now, fuck, what's his name again?
I don't know.
Claire's pal's boyfriend.
Wait, Claire's pal's boyfriend?
Aye.
Fuck knows.
The guy that he's like sort of dirty blonde, slim.
I have no fucking idea.
You were talking about him the other day.
The only thing I can think
as soon as I fucking see his name, I'm gonna kick my arse. But other faces that I didn't really socialise with, but I knew them because they were always in the heart. Colin. Bloody Kieran.
I'll ask Ernie. I'm gonna ask folk because I'm curious, like.
And how long have you known Tappy?
I've kent Tappy for ages.
So have I. He was one of the people that I used to hang out with at the
Fucking
heart.
ask him, I'll probably see him in the next couple of days. Yeah. I don't believe in any of the kind of hippy dippy shit, but there is a bit of Mulder in me that's totally dying for some form of evidence to present itself, you can, because so much it is so much, I'm being generous, all of it, the hippy dippy stuff, is difficult for like actually believing and get behind. I'm just like, show me someone. So like, aye.
Oh God.
Maybe it's a combination of a couple of things. Maybe I wasn't quite on point earlier on. Maybe what happened is I got steaming drunk, which is why I don't remember it, which would make sense. And you, for whatever reason, made out with me and were disgusted with yourself and then blocked out your memory.
I did.
Blocked out your fucking memory, and then when you re-met me years later in a changed image, you weren't overly grossed out.
No, that is not the case at all. I really wish that we Beardies videos were still on YouTube.
What, for all that time ago? Mm-hmm. See, I'm not going to sit here and watch you flick through your phone for the next 2 hours to get you like 13 years ago.
No, I'm saying I wish these videos were still on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube? You're flicking down Facebook.
Yeah, no, because I'm looking for bloody Claire's pal. That I can't even remember her name now because my memory's terrible.
Claire's pal that's got blonde hair. Cassie?
No. Her boyfriend has got blonde hair. Dirty blonde, brown hair. Who's Claire's best friend that worked in the bar at Sydney?
I am so fucking stuck for a name right now.
You're gonna kick yourself as well then.
Who did you... Jen?
No.
Did you know of like a Jen? Lucy?
No.
Oh, Becca?
Yes.
Oh, you're on about Purdy.
Purdy, right. Fuck's sake.
Fucking hell, right, aye. Totally fucking forgot.
So, Purdy
Memory's fucking...
was always in the heart. Always. But I never ever, like, socialised with him. But I always knew his face because he was always in the heart. And I knew his name because he was always in the heart. Colin, always knew his name, always knew who he was because he was always in the heart. Kieran, always in the heart.
Right.
There's no way that the both of us could always be in the heart having the same
You're
friends.
really angry about
Because
this.
I am angry.
Why are you angry?
I'm angry at the universe for erasing my memories.
As long as you're as angry at the universe and not me, it looks like you're like, fucking agree with me, cunty. Fucking say it's an alternate fucking dimension, you prick, or I'm going to fucking slap your nose off.
Plus, take into consideration our other connections, right through to childhood.
Are you on about like Feather and that?
Aye. So for the purposes of people listening here, obviously they're not going to have a clue. So, remember, my mum recognised your dad with the picture of when you were a baby and he was young, and it transpired that my mum actually worked with your dad at Christopher's and at the Devergilla pub there, because your dad worked at the Dev because your granddad's brother owned it.
Yeah.
My grandmother worked at the Dev.
Yeah.
And was very close friends.
Yeah, there's a couple of Kevin Bacons. You know.
But the fact that we have been connected since itty bitty childhood.
Are you gonna get religious someday? Are you gonna get a few more cats, find God?
No, I'm not gonna find God. I'm gonna find the fucking maker of fucking connections and lost memories and
God.
And let's fucking have these people closely connected right through their entire life.
Odin.
Right down to they were both in this one small tiny wee pub with the same friends on the same night. That one for sure,
Stop
definite.
Stop getting angry, I'm getting at you like...
Yeah, they never actually met each other or knew of each other until after you were able to meet Amy and have me Shan.
Do you think we would be fucking sitting here right now if we met? The night, a year before the end of a year before the smoking ban. If you think we met then, do you think we'd be sitting here now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Then you must have thought we were going to end up here regardless, so why get so fucking angry about the wee time lapse? Stop looking like you want to punch me.
I want you to agree that it's very sus that we don't remember each other.
It is very... it's definitely... It's odd. It's definitely odd. And it's hard to... I just put it down to that we've... I mean, don't get me wrong, the chances are fucking slim. It does sound slim chance. Like, really slim chance.
Like all the local gigs, the Turbine gigs and shit like that.
No, I never went to the Turbine gigs. Never been to Turbine.
Well, I said Turbine because they're
I was
obviously the more...
Encephalic in that Tappy and Tony's band.
And I went to all them gigs.
Yeah. Did you see me getting my you maybe saw me getting my big fucking eye. Some fucking kid. I don't know who the fuck it was. It's probably like, I don't know, maybe 26, 27 or something now. Maybe, because I think I was maybe about early 20s or that. And they opened up like a pit and run in. And some fucking kid, I swear it was like, I don't know, like lucky if the cunt was like 15 or something. Fucking, he bang. Huge fucking lump, just like out on the ground. What the fuck? Huge fucking lump. I had a picture of that. I think that was back in the Bebo days. Bebo.
And I mean, it's not as if I was shy back then. I spoke to everybody.
Aye. You are an unshy whippersnapper.
I just find it strange.
It is, but now we're actually going to have to come back with some fucking scientific data. We're going to have to go and ask about. We're going to have to figure it out. Let's try and figure it out. Let's... because we remember certain nights, so other folk will remember certain nights. You know, it shouldn't be... Aye? It's not like we're walking into a fucking pub that we only started at like half a year ago or some shit. Okay, it's been fucking years.
How many people... Because it was really hefty busy that night in the Heart, I'll give you that. Like, the last night that we could smoke, because it was a big thing.
You just want to looking at me, that's all, mate.
But that's what I'm saying, I knew everybody that went in there.
And I just slipped under the radar. I'm a spy. I'm like fucking, what's his name? I'm like Snake. I'm like Snake in Metal Gear Solid. What's his fucking name in Splinter Cell? I'm that guy. I'm fucking Spider-Man.
I don't know.
I'm Mission Impossible.
My brain is just like gone all like absolutely crazy and gone back to that big crazy mad philosophical pondering conversation that we had on the way back up from bloody Warrington when I was getting animals. And I remember you were talking about, it's basically string theory, but it was sort of like your own version of it, where like we've got like our line of existence. And then, like, if you, like, these points that you nearly die and stuff, what if you actually have died and hopped into like another line and stuff. So like, what if this is like a new line and back. Like, what if one of us has hopped into like another alternate dimension at one point?
You mean that like many points across our existence that we feel and perceive to be one ongoing existence, or multiple instances of death, where each time it's like
Well,
your body,
that was your theory.
where you're no, that's what I was asking a question there, not making a statement. So that was what. Is that what you're saying? No, where like each time, say you meet a death, you're then like you didn't meet a death because automatically it's like you're then seeing through the eyes of like you in a different dimension.
Aye.
No, aye,
Yeah,
that is what you're saying.
You've just switched it to a different track, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was your theory. I thought it was a pretty cool theory. I don't know if it is exactly string theory, but it does bring in aspects of string theory. Like, you know, all these different parallel universes and different versions of yourself.
8 trillion dimensions and all that.
Yeah. But, yeah, what if
I do actually genuinely want to ask folk now, like early in that, I'll be like, dude, how you can, like, you remember us cutting about here, right? Because they'll remember us both, so I'll be like...
Well, Ernie's known me since I was a wee whippersnapper.
I bet he's got to be like, mate, you were fucking talking all the time, she just forgot you for years because you were being a bellend.
But you forgot me.
Eh?
But you forgot me.
I drink more than you.
That is no excuse.
Memory loss? It's perfect. It's the excuse.
Narcolepsy.
Yeah, this was way pre then. That was way pre then.
No, it's just sort of tying in a whole bunch of stuff, like, you know, different dimensions, and what if back then we were in like different dimensions, and that's why we don't remember each other, but now we're in the same dimension. Like, mental.
See, this is what I mean. Like, whatever I'm trying to figure out is the reality of the universe, you could just be bringing these crazy thoughts to me to fuck with me because I'm getting closer to figuring it out myself. And it's like, you're the final bit of the... No, maybe not the final bit, but, you know, it's like, as stuff goes... Because I hear stuff on the telly or I read stuff and whatever, and it's just wee fucking nuggets that I can't even think of. But, like, they always make me think of, like...
Simulator stuff.
Aye, but maybe not necessarily a simulator or the simulation. Maybe no necessarily that. Someone else. I don't know what. It's hard to describe. Just something a bit more singular, like you know, like
Truman Show.
No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that because that happens all the fucking time. Constant fucking moments of like it's like the Truman Show. Like just stuff that you couldn't write.
Yeah. Well, fucking hell, look at the last couple of years for me. Jesus Christ. But I actually came across on Facebook earlier one of these, like, oh, this is your memories from, like, 5 years ago. And I think it was either 5 or 6 years ago. There's a memory from sitting at Kerry's, and we were talking about Shakespeare's Sister and Stay, and then, like, that's the song by Shakespeare's Sister, dudes. And, then obviously there's the French and Saunders parody thing called Destiny, ironically. But so then we were talking about French and Saunders, and like at the very instance that we started talking about French and Saunders, people on the TV started talking about French and Saunders. Now it's not as if French and Saunders are like really big in media right now. They were big years ago, so that was kind of weird. But then also that night, Kerry was talking about Fall Out Boy and the dude from Fall Out Boy, and then she was like showing me pictures of him because I didn't know what he looked like, and she said, oh, I just want them to come on the music channel right now, and then they did. You know? Stupid little things like that. I mean, that's even creepier than all the, like, your phone listening to you and, like, targeting adverts and stuff. You know, because that's not a case of the music channel was listening and targeting, you know? Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of like the X-Files episodes where the government have hacked onto televisions and stuff like that, and they're sending me messages or you get that kind of stuff.
I always find it funny when stuff just sort of circles right back around again. Ooh, and another thing as well is when my brain makes weird connections before I've actually thought about those connections. Like, I've done that a whole bunch of times.
Example?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to quickly wrap my brains here. It was something to do with cakes and stuff, and oh god.
Even a hypothetical situation, so I understand what you mean by like the concept of what you just said, like thinking things
Before I've
So
consciously thought about it. I think one of the most lame examples, and it's not really that impressive, but what is my favourite flower? Do you remember what my favourite flowers are?
daffodils?
Oh no, but although that is actually the flower of like my birth flower, apparently.
Maybe that's what I was remembering. Then.
No, lilies are my favourite flowers. Right. So when I was gonna be getting this kitten, and I'm pretty sure it was before the Sphinx. So that's even weirder, actually. Anyway, the kitten was a tabby. I'd done some research into the tabby. Found out that it's African, and it was the tabby cats that the ancient Egyptians had, because the ancient Egyptians were totally like loving their cats, but it would have been domesticated African wildcats, which had that M on their head, which is the sort of thingy of a tabby cat. And then just like my weird bloody thingy, you know, you get sucked into your black holes and your procrastination, your sidetracking and stuff, and I found like hieroglyphs. Is it hieroglyph or hieroglyphic?
No, it's like hieroglyph is like the singular.
Right.
Hieroglyphs would be plural, and then like a piece of hieroglyphic art.
Ah, right, okay.
Or something like that. Hieroglyphic sounds like, you know.
Anyway, I found this whole thing on how to actually like make words and stuff out of hieroglyphs, and I was like, oh, I wonder like how you would write Lily, like, you know, this like hypothetical name that I was gonna call this tabby kitten Lily, since I love lilies, but I decided against it. But so the hieroglyphs for the letters that make up Lily are tiger, and like what was it? There was like 2 lines, so stripy, and you know, like it was just the hieroglyphs that made up the word Lily was basically tabby cat. It was just weird how it all just sort of like circled around.
You get loads of these mad wee fucking examples, like wee things that are like. Yeah, wee coincidences, but then there's so fucking many of them. It becomes hard to like pick examples of, because there's so many of them. It's like, fuck, you've asked me too quick. Yeah. Because like I get that feeling all the fucking time, like fucking weird, like just coincident, like what? Okay, just wee things all the time.
Yeah. The thing about the cakes, that was the sort of more weird one. Like, how does my brain do that? I can't even remember how it went, but it was something like I had said. About wanting to make a gluten-free cake, and I wondered if something, but basically, nah, I can't even remember.
No,
I can't remember.
You not remember?
I don't remember.
Not remember?
No.
I saw this mad video, and it was like breaking down that season of South Park and how that derailed because they were under the presumption that Hillary Clinton was going to be president, so they'd had out this whole fucking thing, and then when Trump won, they had like the alternate, because there's like an alternate scene where like Hillary's
they did the same when Obama became.
Yes, they did. Aye.
Because they had the 2 versions.
Yeah, ready to go. Like, and it went air like half an hour after the fucking election results or whatever. Well, it broke down that season. It was going on about like I can't remember what it said about the member berries, but it was obviously a metaphor for something, and they ended up just derailing it and went mental, and they were gambling and just saying silly shit, weren't they? Because I remember that much. I've not watched that season since it was on.
Member berries. Do you remember? I remember.
Right. Do you want to watch an episode of Outmaster before I need to get to bed? Because like fucking up at 7.
Yes, and I do not want to be late for work again.
I've been late for skill 3 of the last 4 days. is murder, sleeping through alarms and everything, man. My sleep pattern is what you
Say you've
fuck.
got sympathy narcolepsy.
No, I've just got a cold and a bad sleep pattern.
I have actually wondered if very much like when people feed off of other people's hormones and emotions and hormones that we give off, obviously the thing that I've got the issue with narcolepsy is the neurotransmitters dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, which is hormones. So if people are feeding off of that, like how all animals feed off of all other hormones and pheromones and neurotransmitters and stuff, then technically narcolepsy could be contagious as a sort of like temporary sort of sympathy narcolepsy thing.
Kind of like a built-in kind of like when you look at clouds and your brain tries to find patterns, or when someone yawns and you get that contagious yawn. It's like the idea of apparently something to do with the idea of fitting in or being like others and comfortable and stuff like that. So like you say, if that's a fucking thing, make me sleepy.
Well, you're not the only one that does it.
Yeah. Oh well.
Everybody that
I'll just set more alarms.
Everybody that I spend time with ends up getting excessively sleepy. But I just wondered, like, how females obviously like sync up their fucking periods and shit. But that's obviously the only way that can happen is by reacting to the hormones that are given off by the other females around you. There's no other possible way that you can sync up on anything else. It's just you react and feeding off of other people's hormones. And so if I've got like lowered dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine and stuff,
you're blasting me right now.
I'm blasting you with
Debbie
my whack.
Downer fucking sleepy panda fucking shtick.
Hey, sleepy panda.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. Are we gonna go? I want to go and sit down over there now.
Is it fate that we have to sit down and watch Ink Master?
Because I'm going to set an alarm and fall asleep.
Oh, here's another one for the next podcast.
And then we are going. I'm not getting into
I
this.
know.
I'm not replying.
Yeah,
I'm saying bye after
I
this.
know. This is what I'm saying. It's for the next one. The whole theory and ponderings and stuff of eternal life, and how some people think it would be awful because you would get bored, but then I think that it would be brilliant.
No. My one thought on that is eternal life. I would just be like Klaus.
The goldfish?
No! No, you fucking... No! Klaus the goldfish?
Oh,
fucking American Dad, you daft shit. Fucking hell.
Okay,
No.
you're talking originals.
I'm talking... Aye, Klaus the fucking...
Niklaus.
Aye, Niklaus. What were they called again? What was their name? Their second name? You can...
I can't remember.
No, I can't remember either. Yeah. He was fucking badass though. He was cool. He was cool as fuck. He came out with all these philosophical quotes. It was a fucking great and I can't remember.
You said you weren't going to reply.
I know. But it was alright. I'm ending on this.
A preview for the next one.
Aye, it was a quote, something like, where you tell lies to people you care about in order to protect them. I think that's what he was on about. It was this big quote that he said. Aye, it was
true.
It was decent. Right, we're saying say bye, Yoni fucking didn't even care have a name for you. Yolanda. Yoni Yolanda. That's shite in it.
Yeah,
sounds like
shite.
a hillbilly. Yo!
Sleepy panda.
Alright, okay. Right.
Auf Wiedersehen.
No way, I was literally going to say earlier on. I was going to say earlier on. To say pets, is it house tier? Is pet, so is it house tieren or house tiere?
I forget.
Because I was gonna end by saying auf Wiedersehen, house tiere, and then hit the button. But I didn't care if it would have been that or...
So you're gonna say goodbye pets?
Just for the fucking sake, because I was thinking of the old TV show earlier on, like the old fucking comedy skit thing, my Bob, sitcom, Auf Wiedersehen Pet. That just entered my fucking brain earlier on, probably when it was on pause while we were looking for that quote or something, and literally like then 40 minutes later, and it's like you literally end with the same exact thing, even though you learned Spanish.
Well, I learned German at school.
Yeah, but you do Spanish. That's your hobby thing. You do Spanish.
Yeah.
You're more inclined to like pick up on Spanish on the telly or say something in Spanish, and like I try and remember tiny bits of German, and then I think I'm gonna say that just to be silly.
Yeah.
And then you fucking stole it. Right. Ciao.
Adios.